All right, we are here to assess Mr. K's house. First thing I want to note is the 3-inch threshold to get into the house and the doormat. The doormat should be removed, just eliminate that trip hazard altogether. The 3-inch threshold could be manageable for Mr. K because he's able to navigate up and down 4 steps. I would just want to add a railing towards this wall over here to make it more accessible for him. If not, we could go a little bit more and put a ramp just for a smooth transition into the house. Both mat indoor and outdoor, we want to just get rid of those, eliminate the tripping hazard. For the dogs, right now, Mr. K probably isn't in a position to be taking care of them by himself. So I'd recommend, if able, having the dogs stay at the family member's house nearby, just until Mr. K is independent and able to navigate his house safely. In the corner, dog bowls and stuff should be okay over there. They seem out of the way. In the closet, I'm thinking we maybe elevate these shoe surfaces to give Mr. K a better ability to reach his shoes without having to lean down so far, and then maybe adding a chair over here so he can don and doff his shoes safely. We want to keep any and all boots and shoes out of the walkway, so maybe just keeping them in the closet to make sure he is able to navigate his home and is not going to trip over anything. So light switches are all pretty good height. Going into the garage, there's a lot of hazards in here. We're going to want to clean up this garage, make it more accessible for Mr. K. Starting with this threshold, it looks 4 to 5 inches. We'd probably want a ramp, clear out some of this space, and add railings to get up there. Again, getting rid of the doormat, make sure we're eliminating all tripping hazards. I think the ramp would be the best bet here. If nothing else, having a railing here to help navigate his way into the home. The floors are wood, so that will be good for Mr. K in his current activity level, being able to ambulate on smooth, flat surfaces, even surfaces with a rollator, and supervised with a quad-based cane. Moving on. The lighting in the house, the natural lighting is not great, but being able to turn on lights makes a huge difference. Okay, this is not Mr. K's room. This is the guest room. Again, just keeping consistent. We're going to want to get rid of this rug. Just having this right here, this little lip, could be a tripping hazard for Mr. K. Other than that, Mr. K does not come into this room very often. I think having the mat out of the way should be plenty. Into the guest bathroom. Again, Mr. K does not use this bathroom. However, if he were to, we'd want to change this into a standing shower or a walk-in shower, excuse me, with a bench to make it more accessible for Mr. K. The laundry room. Again, it's a little cluttered in here. We want a more accessible path for Mr. K to be able to reach his washer and dryer. With a quad-based cane, it might be easier to have a little bench or chair in the corner so Mr. K can grab his laundry and remove it. This closet seems to be a good height. Shouldn't throw Mr. K off too much. Moving along into the house. So again, natural lighting isn't great. The switches are accessible. The entryway is clear. Should be able to navigate this pretty easily. Coming in this way, again, this rug is going to be a little bit bigger of a tripping hazard just because that lip is elevated. We're going to want to maybe also add some kind of incline right here to prevent Mr. K from tripping over the marble on the floor. Might also suggest rearranging the room so the TV may be more on this wall so that Mr. K doesn't have to have this in his pathway. We could put the couch in the corner so that it's a more open space and Mr. K doesn't have as narrow of a space to navigate. In the living room, it looks like everything should be fine. Maybe making sure everything in these cabinets is accessible for Mr. K without having to bend too much. Other than that, this looks fine. I would say getting dog toys off the floor. Those are also going to be huge trip hazards for Mr. K. Coming into the kitchen, Mr. K is not going to be able to get into this back corner, so he's going to have to be held back to just these 3 chairs. As long as he can sit on the outside, he should be good. Coming into the kitchen, I'm noticing a lot of things high on shelves. Mr. K is not going to be able to reach that and maintain his balance. So everything that's up a little bit too high, I want to be moved down a little bit lower in whatever way is manageable, just so Mr. K isn't having to climb up on anything to reach his items. If there's things that he doesn't need on a daily basis or that he only uses when people come over, maybe those things can go up top here to make room for the more necessary items that he uses on a daily basis, just so he has someone to help him if he needs something that he doesn't use unless there's company over. I would also like the items in cabinets to kind of be on a lower level if possible. The things he uses less often can be higher up on the cabinets, within the cabinets, to make it easier and more accessible. Maybe moving the trash can out of that corner because he's not going to be able to get to it very easily. It's a narrow pathway, and if he's with his rollator, he's not going to be able to get over there. We want to make sure that Mr. K is not getting loaded down with trash because he can't get to the trash can. So maybe moving that to more accessible position, maybe kind of closer to the edge of the counter, would be helpful. Moving on into the master bedroom, this is where Mr. K stays. Just upon entry, I noticed this desk is in the way. That's going to be an issue for Mr. K. So I'm thinking we could move this desk and all the items over to the right just a little bit, just kind of get it out of his way so that he's able to navigate his bedroom safely. Moving into the bedroom, the dog beds, if they are going to stay here, they need to be out of the walkway. This is directly in the path to the bathroom, where Mr. K is going to need to go. So these are a major tripping hazard. Again, we're going to want the rug out of the way as well. We're going to want to make sure dog toys are out of the way. Here, he doesn't seem to have to go by the marble, except if he's going to his dresser. So maybe moving the dresser a little bit over, so just so we can keep a little space away from that marble. And if he needs to get to the marble, like if he needs to start a fire, maybe adding a little lip so that he's able to incline onto or gradually progress onto up the lip rather than having to take a step and potentially trip. Moving over this way, we're going to want any and all boxes off the floor. Just again, those are going to be in his way. This door seems to be pretty narrow. This is not going to be, Mr. K is not going to be able to get into the closet very easily. And then once he's in there, he's not going to be very mobile within. So maybe getting some of these items of clothing off the ground, finding a different place for him, or cutting down on the amount of clothing, freeing up some space for Mr. K to be mobile within the closet, or just taking his clothes and finding a way to move it to these dressers out here, and maybe moving the other clothes that aren't as necessary into the closet. Maybe having his seasonal clothes out where it's more available to him. Moving into the bathroom, again, very narrow. He's not going to be able to navigate this very well. I would just take the doors off of both of these while Mr. K is recovering, free up some mobility for him. We do have a walk-in shower with a step. I would recommend getting a bench for in here, and I think the grab bar is good. We want a bench to kind of give him more stability within the shower. Also, in case of a fall, I think the glass door might be a little bit dangerous. If he is to fall in it, we don't want him to break it and end up with a more serious injury than just falling. Again, we're going to get rid of all the mats They're just going to be a tripping hazard for Mr. K. And over here, maybe we can add a chair so that he can sit and brush his teeth and complete all his daily tasks. We can add a grab bar just so he can stand and be able to hold on. I think having some more support over here and getting the scale off the floor would be helpful for Mr. K. If we move along this way, again, the light switches are all pretty accessible. I would just move this desk out of the way. Coming outside into the backyard, we do have a pretty open walkway and a nice big patio. Just making sure he's able to get over to the stairs. There's plenty of room. It might get a little narrow in this area, so maybe just kind of being able to move the table over a little bit and the chairs over. Here again, we have a threshold into the house. Removing the mat and maybe a incline, a ramp with handrails into the house would be helpful for making Mr. K independent at home. Coming over this way, I don't think Mr. K is ready to be walking in his yard just yet. He's got 5 steps going down into the yard. He's not able to navigate steps on his own right now, so I would recommend that he's going to stay up in this top level unless he's got someone to help him down the steps. And even then, I don't believe Mr. K is ready to ambulate on or is able to walk on uneven surfaces, so I would not have him taking care of his yard right now. I would recommend that he has family in the area. I would recommend, sorry about that, I would recommend that family members come over and help him with taking care of his yard until we're able to get him walking on uneven surfaces again. All right, Mr. K and family, just want to summarize everything we talked about. His entryways in the front door, back door, at the garage need to have a ramp built in to help him enter his house. The thresholds are too great for him to navigate on his own at this time, and with his Parkinson's disease, I would feel more comfortable if he doesn't have to take big steps to get into his house. I know adding railings to those would be even more safe, or would improve his safety even to a greater extent. Just cleaning up items on the floor, getting the garage sorted so that he's able to navigate his garage without having to step over anything would make it a lot more livable for him. Getting rugs, mats, dog beds, dog toys, shoes off the floor to get him to be able to navigate his home also makes the environment more livable for him and reduces his trip hazard. We want to rearrange that living room so that Mr. K does not have to walk through, walk over that lip by the fireplace, just to also improve his mobility within the home and reduce those tripping hazards. We want to get that desk out of the way of the master bedroom, and we want to take doors off of the doors in the master bedroom just because those doorways are so narrow. We want to give him extra space to be mobile within his home. We want a shower bench in the shower for him, just so he's able to shower. Right now he's not going to be able to do that independently, so he's going to need someone there to supervise him while he's showering. Just some goals for, one more thing. I want, he should not be in the yard by himself. He cannot navigate the stairs by himself, and he cannot walk in a yard. We have not observed him walking on uneven surfaces yet, so in the yard, we want family or friends coming over to take care of his yard for him while we work on transfer or ambulation or walking on uneven surfaces. Finally, 3 goals before we can discharge Mr. K. I'm looking for Mr. K to, in 3 days, Mr. K will be able to perform ascending and descending 5 steps independently with 1 handrail to improve mobility within his home and living space. In 3 days, Mr. K will be able to walk 100 feet on uneven surfaces with a quad-based cane and supervision to improve mobility within his yard. And Mr. K will be independent with showering in a walk-in shower with use of a shower bench to improve independence with grooming in 3 days. We're looking for this to make Mr. K independent in his home, and we want someone here if he's walking outside. Thank you.